All right, spawning down here in the bottom side of the map. He is wearing the blue trunks, and he's got a cheeky little racks across the map. Give it up for Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Cure.
And spawning here at the top left, he is the Shopify Rebellion's Byun.
I gotta tell you, this is the most annoying place for a proxy, just for Byun's scouting. He's already going across the map with that first SCV to get a little bit more information, but by the time he actually gets there, he is going to be in a little bit of trouble, as that Reaper is just going to be just seconds quicker, and it's not even a Reaper, it's going to be a Marauder Rush.
Oh yeah, and that is sometimes really, really deadly if unscouted. If you do not have any bunkers up, then that means all these Marines get outranged. But luckily for Byun, he did go ahead and scout pretty early, so that should kind of give him a little bit of a prop up as to that there are some aggression coming. And there we go, bunker is down.
Yeah, the Reaper's still going to be coming out, though. He does want to kind of scout around a little bit just to find the positioning. Unfortunately, that Reaper is going in the completely wrong direction, and unfortunately, there is no one to pull over and ask for help. As that first Marauder actually just going to go straight up the ramp. That bunker not going to get done. Oh, this is just absolutely devastating, especially as there's no reactor, so it's going to be one Marine at a time. Okay, the bunker does finish at the end here. The Reaper actually going to be able to come in here, and it's a drinking game for how much I say actually at this game. But overall, this is I lost my train of thought there.
Well, I mean, I think this is a pretty smart move because, you know, Reaper, yeah, it doesn't do too much to Marauder, so might as well send it across the map. But it was really important for him to get that bunker up. Once he gets that bunker up, like, he should be relatively safe. Yeah, he's going to lose the supply depot with this, but all in all, I think he should be fine, especially with that Widow Mine there.
Behind this, we do have Cure adding on a Hellion. I think that's there to kind of get rid of this Reaper. We got our expansions coming on down. Byun very heavily supply blocked. You can currently see 27 to 15. So he really does need to get this natural CC up as well as some extra supply. Otherwise, he's going to start to fall behind in terms of that army. Although for right now, Cure isn't really focusing on production. He's just trying to get that Stargate up. He's kind of powering up. And I think he might go... There's a potential for Banshee follow-up because of how much he's delayed Byun. But more than likely, it's going to be for a Raven instead.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, he does have the tech lab on that factory in which he can switch out. But anyhow, we do see the Reaper jumping on in once again here. Doesn't really get too much done, but at least he does get a good, nice little scout there. See what's up and what's building over at Cure's base.
And now we can kind of see the build orders start to differentiate. Like I said, there's that Banshee coming on in to get some more cheeky damage, but I think what Byun's going for might be just a little bit more powerful, because right after this Cyclone, he's gone straight into tank production. He is pumping out as many Marines as possible, and he's actually going to be very well geared for a push relatively soon.
Yeah, I mean, once you have like a certain amount of tanks as well as Marines, you can push. Sometimes you do see the Terran push even before Stim get researched. And so we might actually see that as Byun is making his way across the map with that medevac. While he does see the tech lab there, we'll go ahead and take it down. But you know what? To be honest, I wouldn't even I would just left the tech lab alone and just like take it for myself.
Yeah, I would just land a building right there, fast stim.
Yeah, like you just got yeah, exactly, fast stim.
Because I mean, it's not even really that exposed. There's not really a lot of room for the tank to come out. But what there is some room for is this little bit of a drop. This SCV's clumped up. But unfortunately, a little bit of friendly fire there as he gets dragged right onto it. He does get 5 workers in the end, however, as the Raven, or Banshee rather, making its way in. No cloak. Remember that. But he does get a little bit of a better trade. Just by 1.
Yeah, so basically, overall, this game, we do see Byun losing 1 more, 9 SCVs compared to the 8 SCVs of Kier. So not like anything like too extreme, but yeah, relatively even in terms of SCV trades. And now both players seems to be stabilizing here. We'll go ahead and start mining off of that natural and start getting into that macro game.
It's kind of funny to see the game kind of equalize out like this. You know, these guys are definitely trading blow for blow as the Raven going to come in and equalize the worker count once again. So these guys really making it painful, and all these SCVs are super weakened as well. So the Marines just going to go to town. Cure is losing so much mining time. Oh my gosh. Right now it's not really showing on the income advantage, only about 750 mineral difference. But this is starting to stack up really heavily in Byun's favor. Look at that. Cure's down to 28 workers.
Yeah, and that income graph shows that a huge spike there for Byun. So that 2-prong attack harassment really paid off for herself.
I think the biggest problem for Cure right now is that Byun, once he starts to get going, especially as he's going to start to take his 3rd base, putting it on location, he just does not stop. So you're going to be contending with aggression for the next 5 or so minutes unless you can shut it down right now. Unfortunately, Snoopy, these guys are passing like 2 ships in the night, but Byun getting a read on it with that scout will have to come home, and he will be looking to defend. It's a auto turret war.
Yep, just spam all those auto turrets, but it looks like Byun does get the favorable end of that trade. However, can the Byun clean up the rest of the tanks? And it looks like he will.
Okay, that is so bad for Cure right now. The tank count has been completely reset. He knows it as well. GG is called. Yeah, unfortunately, the Cure looked a little bit like a placebo in that last game. As we do see these guys going to be going for the double refinery once again, so looking to tech up relatively quickly and probably just put on a little bit of pressure very early on.
Yeah, no surprise from Byun, as he is usually more the aggressive player. Kier, though, on the other hand, I think he can kind of mix and match. Sometimes he can open up aggressive, but also he can play kind of the longer game and be a bit more passive and defensive. But yeah, we'll see which one of these players will be the one to make the first move, to make the first aggressive move, to kind of force the hand of the other player.
Alrighty, we do see a little bit of a difference here as Cure gets the scout but rebuffs Byun. So Byun, he's not going to overreact to anything. He's not going to be so crazy saying, oh, he's trying to hide something. But it is a little bit worrying when you don't get to see kind of when that factory timing comes down, because with this build, you're always wanting to stay at least 1 Hellion ahead of your opponent. As we, ooh, Kier's gonna actually come in here with an SCV, try and get a cheeky kill on this command center in the bottom.
Oh, looks like it does work actually. Oh
wow, this is actually really good for Kier.
Does loses the SCV unfortunately, but he does delay the command center that is building. So not like a game ending or anything, but every little bit helps, I suppose.
Oh, this is actually really smart from Byun. You know how I was saying earlier that this is usually like a Reaper Hellion style of build where... okay, I'm losing my thought here because, oh my gosh, that was bad for Byun. But Byun actually just going to skip that phase and go straight into the Cyclone, so he will be able to deflect this aggression coming in from Cure. But Cure getting ready for a Widow Mine drop, or rather a Marine Mine drop behind this. So let's see if he can get anything done to this command center at the bottom.
Right,
so far, no.
Yeah, one look at that Cyclone and out he goes. I mean, Cyclone really a great kind of neutralizer in the early game for the Terran player. It's kind of pretty decent against pretty much anything. Whether you're talking about Banshees or maybe Hellions or Reapers, you know, a lot of the early game units the Cyclones can really deal with.
Oh, do you remember when they used to just be like pew 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 cannons?
Oh yeah, Cyclones,
oh
man, Cyclone has been undergone a lot of changes in the early stages.
Yeah, I think it's like the most changed unit overall, because we don't really see a lot of other units get just like complete redesigns every 2 to 3 years. Because if you guys don't, oh, nice Widow Mine shot. But if you guys don't remember, like the Cyclone started out kind of in the form it's in right now, but they changed it to be just a pew pew cannon, essentially, just tons of DPS, tons of fire, and weakened its AA attack. And during that period, during TVTs, you had these really fun, like, medevac drops. Just 2 Cyclones would absolutely shred an SCV line. And it got so bad that they actually had to get rid of it and start from scratch. So these Cyclones, they have some history.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ooh.
And that history includes killing those 2 Reapers, apparently.
Nice little pick off there. Always nice to kind of take out the nuisance of a unit called Reapers, as they can be, you know, quite annoying. Even though as it goes into the mid game, they don't really pose as much of a threat. But knowing that you don't have to worry about any like Reapers jumping in the back door, it's kind of give a peace of mind to Beyond here. Or sorry. Yeah, piece of mind to Byun, sorry.
It's fine. I've already forgotten which player's which, too. Oh, good little drop. Canceling the lockdown. Byun with just some fancy foot micro right now, as he's going to get right into the mineral line. Gets 2 workers and is able to get out of there because the Marines are way out of position. Cure is trying to establish that 3rd base.
Oh, a nice interference matrix does negate this medevac, and even the Vikings, can he get it before? Now so close.
See, I like this now because Cure has told Byun now that he is going for the air superiority, and we can see he's just pumping out 2 Vikings at a time. He's not caring about drops because he will be perfectly safe versus anything that comes across the map. And Byun, you know, he has nothing in the sky other than a couple of Ravens, so if he takes a fight like he did in the last game, it's probably not going to go as well, because you do need that air superiority as TVT.
Yeah, you really do. Now, the good thing for Byun is that he is ahead by 1 Raven. I mean, largely in part because Cure did transition into Vikings, but that does give him a bit extra more energy spells to cast during the initial fight. But then if the fight prolongs, the Vikings will be able to clean up the rest of the Ravens. So Byun is going to have to really make that first attack count.
Indeed, indeed. And Cure is just going to make sure that he has vision of every single route that Byun could feasibly go for. Byun really just trying to clean up these areas so that he can get in undetected. It looks like Byun just staying very far forward as well. He wants to stay out on the map and pose that threat so that Cure does not feel safe in his own home. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your medevacs as well, I guess, is the name of the game here.
Yeah, hide everything, even your cats and dogs, guys. Alright, little skirmish here out in the middle of the map. It looks like Byun is trying to find kind of an opening somewhere where he can kind of attack from. But Kier being really, really great in terms of spreading his Marines, knowing where the army of Byun is, will be able to get into a great position here.
Ooh. See, that would have been a really good lockdown, but Cure, since he can shut down those Ravens with the Sky, just absolutely mitigates all the potential of that push. Byun was trying to hit the second his stim finished, and now he's got to go back with his tail between his legs. Even though he does have the bigger army, bigger does not mean anything when you have so many siege tanks. Look at that, even going to add in some Dorito dust here. Late night gaming session, the auto turrets are going down, but Byun has to get out of there. He cannot fight right now.
Yeah, all his units are in yellow-orangish color, so wants to make sure that cooldown expires. Now the army supply is a little bit in favor of Byun. However, we do see, of course, that here he does have a decent amount of Vikings, so we'll see if he can kind of do the slow push against Byun. Both players do got to be careful.
Yeah, a little bit of a drop play there, just grabbing a couple of SCVs. At this point, it's 79 to 81. It's not the biggest of deals. One siege tank gonna go down, as well as a Viking. As Byun, he does have a couple of his own, but I mean that's like pushing a bull when you're wearing a red shirt, essentially. Like, those Vikings are not long for this world if they're not careful.
Yeah, for sure. Now we do see a kind of a semi-doom drop. 3 medevacs full of units here onto the left side, and there is no detection here, no vision onto the left side, and here is gonna have his gonna get his with his pants down here, and the drop does commence into the back line.
Ooh, what I like about this is Byun has some units on the high ground as well, camping the production. He's actually gonna cancel on the +2 armor. If he wants to focus fire down the attack, that would have been great, because he is going to lose absolutely everything here. But already that is a very nice pickoff for him, and with this attack in the front, he's going to get quite a bit done here before Cure can even respond.
Yeah, Byun trying to basically pull a lot of the army of Cure back into the main base and the natural, and he knew that, so he went for the jugular, and now he does clean up a little bit of tanks, but Cure does survive, and that's the most important thing. As long as he survives, he does have a chance. I mean, the army supply basically even at this point. However, Byun does enjoy a nice economic lead.
Indeed, we do have a 4th base floating on over for Cure. Byun built his on location, and we do see this is pretty much the Marine tank phase of the game. Byun going more so for the Marine, as Cure is focusing more on the heavy artillery with his siege tanks. But now this is where this upgrade advantage is going to start to come in, as Byun is very far ahead on his +3 upgrades. Those take forever to build. Oh, that is a very risky pickup right there, but he is going to get away with it, as the rest of the army coming in and just kind of keeping Cure away from his own 4th. Now Cure has to divide his units up. This is a bit too risky there for Byun.
Yeah, was a little bit of a dicey situation, and Byun did the smart thing, backed out, as the tanks were kind of in position for Cure before he was. So, oh, there's a nice catch by Cure, but does fight against. Oh, he does have the concave and does clean up the rest of Byun's army. Nice play there by Cure.
Indeed, indeed. Look at that. Byun just building 4 CCs right now. He's looking to take absolutely everything. So he's just looking for that explosion in terms of that late game economy. more Marines, more siege tanks, more upgrades, just more everything. For Byun, he's actually almost maxed out once again. And these Doom Drops, I swear, if he can get 1 or 2 more in, he should be feeling pretty good.
Well,
now he's not.
Yeah, Byun's got to be careful. Kira does have some Vikings parked there in the dead space, but look here, Kira going for the counter. I'm gonna go ahead and try to lock that down. The south side base will go hit a drop of his own into the main base, which actually is not protected at all by any turrets or Vikings.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight. Byun going to be going for a Doom Drop of his own. It looks like we are going to be seeing Byun transition to that Sky Terran army as he does drop the additional starports. It looks like he's going to be going for Vikings since those are reactors, as Kira are going to be building up his Raven count. Liberators sieging up before the tanks, so they will fall. And now it's going to come down to the air battle here as Byun and Kira are going to start to trade out units.
Yeah, they got armies like divided across the map. Some in their own main base or natural, and then some out in the open like this. Byun trying to dive in here, but it's just a little too dangerous. So I'm going to go ahead and try for the left side base. But these sensor towers for both players are really providing some nice, decent vision.
A little bit of a misstep there by Byun. He does lose those siege tanks, but again, that just opens up the floor for pure Viking production. Look at that, 6 Vikings on the way. And while I do like Kira's position, he has not been able to establish his 5th base. He's only just now trying to get it down. And I think that's going to come back to bite him because Byun has been mining from his own 5th for quite a bit of time. And look at that. Byun just going to come in straight for the fight. The SCVs go for the repair. They will be able to keep it alive for another second, but it is in vain.
Yeah, those Marines with those 3-3 upgrades, not afraid to go into the tank line and take some of that splash damage. And now Byun, you know, while Kira does establish that north side base, Byun takes down the left side base. So Kira still kind of reeling in terms of the economy as Byun makes more and more CCs. 3 more command centers on the way, even the fusion core to slap on top of it.
Oh my goodness, I think Byun is just looking to close this one out quickly. He's getting ready for his Team League match after this. The drop is coming on in. Dorito cannon all over. Sticky fingers, sticky keys. So that is going to delay the push from Byun just for a little bit, but you can't delay a river. Especially as Kira in range. He's going to lose one of these siege tanks very, very quickly. And now the Dorito cannon is gone. The Ravens don't have the power for another one. I lied.
Oh wow, Byun still leaving his Vikings to fight. There might be a little bit of a mistake. This might be the opening for Kira to try to get himself back into this game, as he does take a decent amount of Vikings down. He does got 8 of his own, but the most important thing is that he does still have 5 Ravens on hand, while Byun has absolutely no Raven on his hand.
People saying you can stop a river in chat, but only temporarily. That's why they have floodgates. But and like the river floodgates, Byun is just looking to reposition his river. I'm gonna go with that analogy all night. But he is still maxed out, and Cure is just getting whittled down in terms of his supply. He is currently only on 171. And do you know why he can't really make too much else? Because if you take a look at that little green number at the bottom of the screen, Snoopy, you can see he's been cut off by the parents.
Oh yeah, I mean all the credit cards has been scissored up, cut in half, thrown in the garbage. And Kier just trying to do his best to kind of scrap by here, and he is still technically alive, right? I mean, Still not
Yeah.
quite dead, but man, Byun is looking really good. Now the good thing is that Kier does just finish his third upgrade, so they are both tied in terms of the bow upgrade. But these tanks, look at that. How much tanks is that? 12 tanks for Byun versus the 8 of Kier, but he only has one tank here at this base, third base for Kier. So Byun is going to go ahead and slowly push through, but he does not have any buffer for these tanks. And oh, this is a nice catch by Kier.
I think what it comes down to is that Kier is a little bit slower to rebuild his army. As we see, he's only making 6 Marines at a time right now. He's tried to get the Liberators up as well, but now since he did drop those Vikings, Byun has a much better chance of getting back into the air game. And again, you can kind of see Kier doesn't have a ton of gas. His minerals aren't really that high, while Byun's aren't either. He just has way more mules. He's got more orbitals, and look at that. He's even taken this base in the top right side. Kier has no idea.
Yeah, Byun taking pretty much a majority of the map. However, this army of Kier is pretty scary still, so he's gonna have to contend with it, and it's gonna really come down to the engagements. Basically, they are pretty much on even army supply, and so whoever gets the better engagements will pull ahead. And here we go, Liberators added on here for Byun, and oh, it looks like Kier does find the right side, north side base there. We'll shut it down, and Kier gonna go ahead and look for the offense as he kind of goes.
He's getting a little bit desperate here. You can kind of see with his movements. He's looking for any base that's undefended. And here we go with the full-on siege up. Byun pulls his Marines away. Good splits. And that's the army of Kier gone. Now down 50 supply almost. He's not 100% dead yet because he does have some units, but he's lost air control. And so these Liberators are going to be consistently pushing him back into his own base.
Oh yeah, that is so annoying for Kier. Basically, he is going to be pushed to the point where his back is against the wall, and he's going to have to push forward. And he does. He's going to go ahead and push through with his Marines, but all these tanks on the backside for Byun eliminates and obliterates all these frontline Marines. And now Byun, with the rest of his force, is going to go ahead and start pushing forward, start marching towards victory.
Indeed, he is. Kier's supply has plummeted like my GPA. And GG is called as Byun goes up to match point in this series.
Well, we are now in Hardwire for game number 3. And we'll see if this is going to be the last game or the beginning of the comeback for Kier. Speaking of Kier, he is the blue Terran player, playing on the south left side, rocking the happy start, even though he shouldn't be too happy right now with where he is. But anyhow, give it up for Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Kier.
And in the top right, a little gentleman about to get proxy 2 racks. He's got to get the scout out. But let's see what he can do. Spawning up here, it is Shopify Rebellions Byun.
You know what?
And what a better way to start a 2 racks with some fun beaver facts in chat.
Wow, our chat has really gone down the drain if we are talking about beavers. Although I do love me some beavers. I mean, they are pretty cute. They are pretty chill. They are pretty cool. But let's get back into StarCraft, guys. Not talk about beavers.
Yeah, it looks like Byun just going to play it a little bit safe here. He's going to get that early scout off. Wants to see everything before the dam bursts. I got a million of them. But
keep them coming. Keep them coming. They're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so luckily for Byun, he is going for factory behind this. And so while it's not 100% ideal for him, he does know that it is indeed a proxy. So he should probably start a bunker close to his mineral line, just a place where he can retreat with his own Reaper. But he's also got he's also going to have Cyclones relatively fast, maybe even Hellions as well, just for that extra little bit of splash in order to take this down.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go indeed. Alright, looks like the Reaper of Byun a little bit out of position. Does take a little bit extra damage, but does take down one of those Reaper. Oh, but he does lose his Reaper of his own. But
Ooh.
The factory, the Hellion, is popping out relatively soon.
Yeah, this is kind of the worst possible position here for Kier. You never want to lose one of the first 3 Reapers because it is so dangerous. Losing a second one as well. This push is starting to really get cleaned up quite efficiently by Byun.
Yeah, I mean, once that first Hellion comes out, it gets really... it kind of puts a stop to the momentum of the Reaper push. And, you know, as time goes by, those Reapers gets, you know, lower in value. And, these Hellions become more and more stronger. Now, of course, he does have to keep continuously making those Reapers, or else he won't have anything back at home to defend. And so, right now, he is going to go ahead and just quickly tech into Cyclones in order to help deal with the Hellions of Byun.
Indeed. So, looks like both sides are just going to start to transition out of this. Byun has his own CC, as Kier has begun his own natural base. So he's going to just try and put on a little bit of a soft contain here, just to make sure that Byun doesn't get too crazy. But now with Cyclones out, it's just not really too long for this world. The Hellions, though, do have to be careful because they do fire in a straight line. The problem is that line is forward and not sideways. So you can see right there, just some good positioning from Kier going to mitigate a lot of that damage.
Oh, looks like, interestingly enough, Byun is going for Banshees himself. Not going to get the cloak upgrade, though, so he's just going to go ahead and go straight into just pure Banshees. Now, I'm wondering how much Banshees is going to make. But he's just going to make 1, or will he continue to make 2?
I think without Cloak, we're only going to see 1 of them here. Looks like we did have a pretty big shot here. The Reaper's starting to go down. But, yeah, with Banshees, if you don't get Cloak, there is no utility in getting a second Banshee. It's much better to just go from that straight into your Raven play. And, that looks like exactly what he's going to do, while also getting those siege tanks out. I gotta say, Byun is playing very solid. He's not overextending, and he's macroing up quite well for right now.
Yeah, he is playing really great. Even if he happens to lose this game, I feel like he has put himself in great position to take the game. Now, of course, you know, it's still anyone's game, but to see how he kind of really defended that proxy 2 racks. Now, granted, he did got that relatively early, but, you know, it still comes down to the execution, right? And he did, you know, manage to kind of hold, and now able to establish his natural here. And here we go. Banshee does come and ravage that mineral line.
Yeah, the Cyclone's just way out of position. The Mule's not even worth it because they're about to die themselves. We're just going to focus fire down to a 7th one. So that was honestly really good damage. Usually you want to say about 5 for a Banshee to be fully worth it. So that was definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And now Byun gonna have his gonna be the one in the driver's seat. And we'll see if Kier can kick him out of that driver's seat. By the way, Passer, I'm not sure if you're looking at the chat, but they're still talking about the beavers.
Of course. Like, beavers are the perfect metaphor for a TVT. Because just like the beaver dam, the TVT is an ebb and flow. When it starts to flood, It gets all hectic and crazy, but the beaver is always there to redam the river.
Oh man, that was so poetic.
It's 2 a.m., guys. Sorry, I stopped being a poet around 8, and my brain starts working around 2 p.m.
Oh man, it's all good. All right, looks like
Ooh. Okay.
Not too bad. Does force out the SCVs off. Oh, actually gets a little bit more, but does kind of delay a little bit of mining time there. But unfortunately for him, there are Vikings out in the field, so this Raven is going to go ahead and go down to his grave.
Yeah, this is actually almost a complete opposite of the last game, because it's now Byun who has that Viking advantage, and it's Cure who's trying to kind of swing around the map with these drops, with this additional marine production. One thing to note for Byun as well is he still doesn't have his NG base, so Cure is about to have a 1 upgrade lead, as well as combat shields, as well as stim.
Wow.
Does Byun have... Okay, he does have stim. I'm really happy to see that. Oh, but this is a very nice pickoff. Getting rid of the Metavacs. So there is no retreat. A very clean cleanup.
Yeah, that went... I mean, that couldn't have gone any better, really. Now Byun is going to widen his lead. The 125 overall supply to 104. Now Kier does have the upgrade lead, but still, that is, you know, basically it's a lot of quantity versus some quality of those Marines for Kier. But oh, actually does catch his Byun a little bit out of position here. Oh boy.
Yeah, he will get the siege up first, but Byun baiting those siege tank shots. Does he have enough Marines is the big question. Looks like the answer for right now is no. And as his mineral line gets ravaged here, Cure has free reign to kind of jump around. That's where the upgrades are really coming into play. I think the biggest problem, though, for Cure is he's only got 2 Metavacs left. He's been bleeding out those Metavacs so far.
Yeah, that's going to be troublesome. Gonna definitely need those Metavacs to heal those injured Marines. But at the very least, he did get some nice pick off there. 12 SCVs, and I think did come out a little bit ahead on that trade there. But despite all those damage done, Byun is still keeping afloat.
Indeed, indeed. As we do see Cure coming in here, just some Marines. There's not enough space in those Metavacs. If he decides to get out of there, that last Reaper just making sure that there is no 4th base as the scans are starting to fly.
Oh man, say it fast in the live chat saying, first beaver to build their dam wins.
You know what? That is actually pretty true, you know. If Terran player can get that siege tank wall up, we'll call it the Terran Dam. They do have a pretty good chance of just deflecting those attacks.
That is true, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense indeed.
We're just going to have to make every single game a beaver analogy now.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you know this.
We're sorry for everyone who has to hear these beaver analogies.
Wait, this is the wrong channel for that. Don't we have Canadians on the other one?
Oh, yeah, that's true. So if you guys don't know, some drunk Canadian who is the our other caster casting some of the rogue games, his logo does have a beaver in it. So
yeah, yeah, you're in the wrong chat for beaver analogies, but Cure is in the wrong base, although he will take it for right now, as he does get a couple of little pickoffs right there. Byun trying to look for some damage, but this is just an impenetrable wall right now for this amount of units.
Yeah, let's see here. Got 11 tanks and 35 Marines for Byun, and 5 tanks, but 57 Marines for here. That is a lot of Marines, and those Marines are about to be in the 2-2 upgrade.
Oh! Getting a snipe on the 4th, though. That is big. That is really big.
Now Kira is going to go ahead and come from the right side, the bottom right side as well. Putting a lot of pressure here on Byun.
I'm telling you, this is exact opposite of last game. It's now Cure the one who's being super aggressive, and Byun who's really struggling to kind of hold his own and establish these bases. Now, he is maxed out, but we do see Cure coming in for another push, and he's going to be able to push this back as he does have that upgrade advantage again and again.
Yeah, Byun is definitely going to have to, or at least want to, hold off until his own 2-2 does finish before taking any type of fight. But look at those Vikings here onto the right side. Pierre's got to be really careful not to get those medevacs headed towards them.
A little bit of a miss siege up here from Byun as well. He will lose some siege tanks very early on, taking a huge pot shot right there. What does he have on that fourth base to defend? He's got 3 siege tanks, but they're out of position, so he's going to lose all of these Marines. This is absolute carnage here. Oh, the Liberators stay alive, though. Oh, that is so huge.
Well, that might have been the saving grace here for Byun, because his top left side base has been hit pretty much on lockdown. Now these Marines will be able to clean up the rest of these forces, but at what cost? Now down to 61 SCVs to the 83 of Cure. I would even say 83 is pretty high for worker count, but I mean, he can afford that.
Yeah, I mean, Byun hovering around 64. I know we say mules are OP in the forums, but it's not when your opponent has them too. And Kier's looking to widen that lead just a little bit more as the supply depot is going to go down. This third is going to get crushed, and Byun just says, you know what, I can do that too. Kier says, no, you can't.
The troublesome thing for Byun is that Kier can just go and mine on another base. He has plenty of bases to send those SCVs to mine from. So losing this command center, if he does, not really a big deal.
I do like how he's also defending his production in the main base here. That could have been so bad if he didn't have anything there, and Byun just decided to doom drop. But Kier is still a threat outside this natural. Byun has been able to establish that third, but it's really a dicey thing here.
Yeah, I'm favoring Kier's position, but if Byun can get a lockdown on these production buildings, that could be the kind of the momentum swinger. But looks like Kier does have that quite defended pretty well, pretty decently for the time being. But oh, here, ooh.
And this is pretty nice, but the Liberator does go down a full surround, so Kier is going to be able to clean this up, and I think that is going to be it for Byun. He doesn't have a lot of gas left in the tank. His dam has broken, and the flood has begun. Although he does clean up on this side, he just doesn't really have a lot of production of his own. And yeah, he got some of Kier's stuff, but he didn't take care of the army. Actually, they're equal on army. What the hell?
That is surprising to me. So okay, if no, oh no, oh boy,
that's gotta be it right there.
Really? As long
seriously?
as Trace, I mean, that's still a win for Akira, because as the game progresses along, the economy of Cure is going to go ahead and kick in. So Byun really has a short window to make use of the fact that the army supply is still even at this stage. So if he does not do anything within the next few minutes, he is going to kind of fall further and further behind.
Indeed. And we can see Byun, he's just pumping out army at this point. He knows he doesn't really have a lot of economy left. So every single unit is going to count. The Vikings in the sky just trying to keep the medevacs from taking care of the high ground vision. As Byun looking to rotate around with what he has left. It's all comes down to this next couple of seconds. He gets the siege up though. One siege tank goes down. That was actually pretty nice.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Byun actually gonna do this?
If he does this, I swear I will eat a hat. Although you won't be able to see because it's off camera.
Oh man, this will be so good. I mean, if Byun can't get this, despite him being behind 91 to 46 workers, that is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you know what else is amazing during this fight? Say it fast. Just donated 10 gift subs. Dude, you are absolutely awesome. And just like this engagement from Byun, he gets rid of all of the siege tanks save for one in the back. He's going to be able to push through. The supplies are actually, funnily enough, equalized. I think just the addition of those liberators. Oh my goodness, and the planetary's not done.
Oh man.
Now it is. Oh my goodness. This game is absolute carnage. This is TVT in its rawest form.
My goodness, I can't believe there is still a chance here for Byun.
Oh, he's gonna try. He's gonna go for it.
Oh my god!
Can he do it?
He does do it.
Oh, he's just got to do that like 2 more times.
Yeah.
Versus a cure that's making 14, 15 Marines at a time as well.
Yeah.
It's a base trade time.
The production is starting to kick in a little bit. You see the supply even up right now. It was like almost like 15, 20 ahead for Byun at one point a few seconds ago. But all of a sudden, the production does help Kier catch up. He's going to go ahead and go for his own counterattack, shut down another mining base now. Byun cannot afford to lose any more mining bases as, the resources are scarce at this point. But the good thing for Byun is he is shutting another base here for Kier, but it is a planetary, so he is going to go ahead and repair it for the time being, and actually does a nice job.
Oh, Kier's just going to come home. He's going to sandwich this army. And, he is going to lose that base, but he just has a much superior force. If Byun can get the second surround, maybe, but he's trying to kind of delay the army on both sides. He leaves his siege tanks unopened. Unfortunately, this is a very good concave for Cure, and it looks like he just... Actually, does he have enough?
The tanks are standing still. Oh my goodness.
Are you serious?
Oh my goodness.